I'm sitting here using an old computer, 'cause I like old computers. And that's about it. Like this beard, like this watch. When I first got out here to Megan, Paul River, what do you want to call it? Alamance County, Orange County, Orange County, what do you want to call it? Um, I decided to get me a watch. So I know when to wake up, how long I've been working, and that's pretty much it. And after that, it came to the point of me working on the roof, feeding cows, fishing, scaling the fish, picking up tools, handing tools, and I was like, man, I can get a job out here at the Waffle House. You know, I'm still good out there. So I ended up going out there to the Waffle House and reapplying and going and training or whatever. And hey, I got my job back. And then after that, um, the guy I was staying with, he was he was my old roommate's ex-boyfriend, and I had ended up staying with her daughter. So that was something. So that was something else I want to talk about, but I get to it another time. Hey yo, I look like I'm on CNN or something, right? Look at me. Hey yo. Other than that, I just like to give a shout out to my people. You know what I'm saying? You know who you are. You know, you're able to hear it. You know, you're able to see it. And I just I just need to buy a tripod. That's all I really need is a tripod. You know, I can order one offline, but that'd take too long to get to. You know, I'm out here just living and chilling. Yeah, I had got me a job at the Waffle House, and I ended up losing that because I wanted to hang out and not really go to work like that, you know, and do my thing like I wanted to. So I ended up losing that job. So I was getting unemployment anyway, so I couldn't wait to get that $600 every week. It was like fuck that job. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather make $600 every week. Well, I ended up in a damn hospital and shit. I found a way to get home. I had put $200 on the table, and I was like, yo, this is the money I'm gonna save to get me a car, and I ended up spending it on whatever I wanted to spend it on, you know. So after that, after all that happened, I ended up asking my friend from work or whatever if he still wanted to sell his car for 1,400. And then he texted me back and he said he wants 1,700 for it. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I done saved up all this fucking money to buy your fucking car, and you gonna tell me 1,400, then turn around and tell me 1,700? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, what am I supposed to fucking do? You know what I'm saying? I had the money, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I needed money to go out there and do what I needed to do with the car, you know. And it's just a big fucking mix up. It's like, damn, he didn't want to sell me the shit because he wants to be a fucking douchebag. Just played your card. Got a fucking Joker card out of nowhere. The hell, man? I just... Oh. Freaking Coin Master. Corn Master. I got this damn card I didn't even play, and it's from South Carolina. I didn't even scratch it all the way. It's got what? It's got two of them up there, but you can tell that the rest of them ain't gonna hit. Yeah, I did it right. I scratched it right. See, you can tell right there I scratched it right. See, based on those numbers and letters, I scratched it right. So it is what it is. Oh yeah, I eventually went on Craigslist and found out that somebody was selling a ride for 1,100 instead of 1,400. So I went out there and bought that car, and I was like, wow, this van is like awesome. And I got the van, and he was telling me that the speedometer wasn't working right or whatever. I was like, okay, that's cool. I can deal with the speedometer not working right. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I got it notarized or whatever, he wanted to take the tags off. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm supposed to, how the fuck am I supposed to get home with this bitch? You know what I'm saying? So I ended up spray bowing it. That's what I did. I just spray bowed it, and from there I brave bored it, and that was that. And after I brave bored it to the house, I waited until the next day. Got me a cab. No. He didn't sell it to me for 1,100. He sold it to me for $950. So I gave his daughter $950 after it was notarized, and I drove it home with some damn cardboard tags, whatever. And I had to let my roommate know that I needed to be known as a roommate, you know, so I can have my ride out here in the parking lot. So that was something new that I had to do. So then the next day, I I decided to catch a cab, because I was going to drive all the way out there to the DMV, all the way out there in Burlington, you know, and get stopped by the police for driving without tags. You know what I'm saying? I drove all, well, I took the cab, and I paid $60 for it, $30 that way and $30 back. That's what I had to do to get some tags. It's better than spending a extra $200, you know, because I had an extra $200 on me because I had 1,100 for the $950. So that was that. So looks like it's time for some cow tongue tacos. They're delicious. I used to eat them like all the time back in Brunswick County. Yeah, those were the days, man. I used to ride my bike to the store from Ash. Just ride my bike from the store, from the house to Ash. And I used to ride to the store. I used to have them in plates. I used to buy like 3 plates. Like, yeah, give me that shit. Yeah, I need that. I need that every day. Every day. I was like, cool. I want that. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, everything was cool. I came back. I had my tags. I was like, yeah, I got some tags. I can get it inspected, and then after I get it inspected, I have some regular tags. So I went to King's Tire, and it was like, yo, you need to check engine light. So I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell's a damn check engine light? So I looked it up, and I needed to talk to a specialist back then, and I was like, damn, this is way back in June. You know what I'm saying? And it's August now. You know. So it was like at the end of June, and I was like, damn, man, like, what do I do? Who do I talk to? You know what I'm saying? And I looked it up, and it was like certain people that you could talk to or whatever. So I was like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So I I got in contact with Johnny. I told him I had a band or whatever. You know, it's like he's like, come on down, see us some. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool. You know, I was like, word. I was like, yeah, let me come down there and see you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? So I talked to my cousin Artie or whatever, and I was like, yo, I'm coming down. And he was like, yo, if you coming down, yo, you gotta see me too. You know. So I went down there, and then, you know what I'm saying, he tried to mix it up and try to go get him some some stash or whatever. And it's like, yo, I know where to get that shit from, you know what I'm saying? I know who got it, you know. So we ended up hitting old boy's daughter or whatever, and she had it. So then we had the stash. Then we had something else too. So we got to something else, and then I told old boy, I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck to do, you know what I'm saying? This guy's acting all weird now. And I went down to Johnny's house, and Johnny was like, yo, somebody done fucked up your shit, man, because you riding around with no tags on. I was like, what the fuck? Just got me some fucking tags the other day. You know what I'm saying? Just got stopped by the police. The police is like, yo, your lights ain't all the way on. Like, what the fuck are you doing riding around with your lights not even fucking on? And this was late at night. I was like, damn, man, I'm sorry. I just cut my lights on right in front of their ass, and they was like, yo, here's a warning ticket. So I was like, cool. You know what I'm saying? You still stay out here Longwood? I was like, nah, I done moved to Mebane. You know what I'm saying? I got a different address on my insurance and stuff. So they were like, cool. You know what I'm saying? So then after that, then after that, I went down there to Johnny's house or whatever with no tags on the back. And I was like, yo, I can't stay down here, man. I'm sorry, man. I done lost my tags. I gotta go, man. I gotta go get some new tags. You know what I'm saying? I hate this even happened. This is crazy. It's the weekend. I need to go back to the house. I need to go back to the DMV and get some new tags. So I drive all the way back from Socasti to Mebane, park my shit, and then the next day I drive all the way to no, I drive all the way out there to Burlington. I'm like, yo, somebody took my tags. I'm like, yo, what do I need to do? And it was like less than a week. It had to have been less than a week. You know what I'm saying? So I renewed them, and then, you know, it was the second time I got some 10-day tags. So then I was like, cool, you know, I got some 10-day tags. I'm good, you know. So when after all that happened, I decided to go back out there and see Johnny and chill with Johnny. So I chilled with Johnny or whatever, and he ended up getting sick or whatever because this COVID-19 thing that's going on. It's CV-19. You heard about it? Well, it's a thing that's going on. They say it's from China. They say it's from North Carolina. They say it's from everywhere else, but I really don't know where the fuck it came from because I'm not a scientist. I don't know. And when I did my research on it, it came from like some research facility in United States, some fucking way on the East Coast. and they had mutated it in China, and then it broke out. You know what I'm saying? They was playing around with some bats or whatever the fuck else, and that shit happened. But long story short, Johnny got sick, and he was hacking and coughing, and it was going crazy. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And his roommate found his stash. I was like, "What the fuck?" He found his stash. It's like I don't know shit about it. You know, it is what it is. I don't know if they talked about it or whatever, but I didn't know anything about his stash. You know, I didn't know what the fuck it was. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, I and after that, he got out of the hospital, and it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I had ran back out at a Charlotte to get some new tags or whatever, because I didn't want to be riding around with no old tags. And I was just doing the right thing. I was trying to do the right thing, but I come to find out you could do the wrong thing if you wanted to, and I didn't even know that. I didn't even know you could stretch it for 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's like, what the fuck, man? I could have just been stretching this shit, you know what I'm saying, and being like, fuck it, you know. I could have been riding on that shit for like 2 weeks afterwards, you know what I'm saying, and then renewed them 10 days afterwards, you know what I'm saying. But I really didn't know you could do that shit, you know. So then I bought the insurance or whatever, and got some new tags. He gets out, everything's lovey dovey, and for some odd reason, he he buys this truck, and you know, I go out there and help him. I drive his van back or whatever, and you know, yada yada yada. And then at night, you know, he let his roommate's kids drive it and test drive it or whatever, and we go out there to what's her face's house, I think, and we go out to what's her face's house, and she's cool, you know, and they ended up driving that truck out there. I'm like, what the hell? Why the fuck y'all out here? You know what I'm saying? It just mind boggled me. It mind fucked me. And he got upset over that shit, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why are you getting upset over me? You know what I'm saying? I ain't say shit in no fucking body. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking worse, man. The he say she say shit. That's the shit you gotta watch out for. The he say she say shit. Cause I ain't saying shit in no fucking body. Leave me the fuck alone. That's how shit be going for me, man. It's like, damn. And then he wanna be all fucking annoying at night. And then I was like, man, I'm gonna go outside. I gotta take these people that I promised that I was gonna give a ride to somewhere. And then I get up as soon as he's being fucking annoying and sneezing and hacking and coughing and shit. I'm like, what the fuck, man? It's like this shit you do at a restaurant. It's just fucking crazy. So I ended up I ended up going to drive these people where they needed to go. They needed to go to the bank, you know, and they needed to go to somewhere in Myrtle Beach. So I drop them off, and then the police come out there. Like, what the fuck? The police out there, are they gonna go to their crib or whatever? You know? So they knocking on somebody else's door because they let themselves in. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Your ass is grass. You lock yourself in a motel, your ass is grass. So then the police are there knocking on this guy's door trying to get him the fuck out. Trying to get the master key to get the motherfucker out. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go out here and get my old clothes, my old stuff. So then I drive back out there in the neighborhood in Nash. And I'm like, yo, I need to go see what's his face. So I go out there and try to see Dave or whatever. And Dave isn't even home. He's gone. So I don't even know if it's the weekend or the weekday. It's probably the weekday. Because I just had to take these people somewhere to the bank and, you know, drop them off back at their motel or whatever. So then after that, I ended up going out there to see Dave or whatever. And I ended up hitting old girl up. And she was like, yo, I'll be there at like 2, and it was like 12. So I'm like, damn. Alright, I'll be back out there at 2. You know, I just got my little unemployment money or whatever, and I was like, cool. You know what I'm saying? I got some gas. I can just drive around or just sit at the rest stop or whatever and just chill out, you know. So I go on out there to Ash. I'm trying to see Dave or whatever, and Dave isn't even home. So I'm like, yo, I just seen you, Jamie. What's up? Where you at? I was like, is that you? And he hits me back up. He's like, nah, I'm somewhere else. I'm like, cool. So I drive all the way out there to where he is, and I see Chuck. I'm like, yo, I ain't seen Chuck in like a minute. I was like, how you been, bruh? So then it's like, yo, I didn't even know Chuck was out here like that. You know what I'm saying? I forgot all about Chuck, you know? And then I meet his son, and his son's real cool. They tell me that they do some little MMA boxing shit, you know, boxing matches or whatever. And I was like, that's real cool. That is so cool, you know? And then after that, I ended up telling Jamina and Johnny that I'm not even going to come back down there no more, man. Because, you know, I just hate the way Johnny was acting that morning. You know, I don't want to sleep around that. I just thought it was weird, you know. And Jamina was like, yo, I'm going to miss you. I hate all this stuff happening and yada, 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 peekaboo, you know. And that was pretty much it. And I started staying with Chuck. And Chuck was like, yo, ain't nobody talking to me about no unemployment. So I was like, cool. I can help you with that, you know. So I set everything up. So then, after I stayed out there for like 2 days, I decided to come back out here to Mebane or whatever. And then out here in Mebane, you know, I was chilling or whatever, and the next day, you know, it had to have been Monday. Had to have been Monday. Chuck was like, yo, no, Monday. My roommate was like, yo, I need to buy you some shoes. So I was like, cool. She bought me some shoes. You know, bought me some socks with it, and everything was good, you know. Then Chuck hit me up and he was like, yo, I still need some help with this unemployment stuff, man. If you could help me out, you know what I'm saying? I love you for life. You know what I'm saying? I could take a look at your van because you need to check engine light. So I was like, cool. That's just killing 2 birds in 1 stone. So I try to get so that same day I try to get a 10-day tag, and they wouldn't let me get one. So I was like, what the fuck? I can't get no 10-day tag. So I was like, okay, I can't get no 10-day tags no more. So the next day it expires. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna go straight on out there and come straight on back. You know what I'm saying? That way, you know what I'm saying, they know that it expired, and I'm trying to go get my tags back or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That way I can get it fixed and everything go copacetic. So I ended up going out there. I ended up staying for 2 days. The second day I tried to go back, I ended up getting stuck on the fucking highway. And we ended up taking it to R&S tires and auto and stuff like that, and they ended up fixing it, you know. No, they ended up taking a look at it the next Monday when I had some money. So I was like, cool, y'all gonna fix it for me. Everything is good, you know. So they ended up fixing it, and I just, I helped Chuck get his unemployment. He got like 9 grand back, and he was like, yo, that's good, you know what I'm saying? Let's get a rental car. So I was like, cool, let's go to Enterprise. So we go. No, I had drove his truck, and his truck ended up breaking down. So then we had to get a tow truck and yada yada yada. He had a bunch of money. I was like, what the fuck, man? Wow. It's like, you got money forever, man. He was just pulling money every day out, like, just pulling money out, like $300 every morning. He would pull out $300 every morning. I was like, what the fuck, man? So he had the money. He had the money on his card. I didn't have my card on me. I did have a card, but I didn't have my card. So, and he still had problems with getting his kid back, because he wanted his child back, and he said something about being sick, and he had to go take a test or whatever to make sure that he wasn't sick, that he just had allergy problems. So he ended up paying for my car to get fixed, my van to get fixed. And he was like, my money's your money, you know what I'm saying? You helped me get it. I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? That's whatever. So my van ended up getting fixed or whatever. So that night he ends up smoking crack or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? Why are you smoking crack? I guess that's what you want to do with your money. You do it with your money. Hey, that's how you lose money fast. Smoking crack. You know. So then I was like, he was like, he didn't want to lose his money, so he let me hold his money. So I ended up holding his money. I'm going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So he comes back there like twice, asking me for like a 20, and I'm like, okay. Then he asked me for 40. Then he asked me for 80. I'm like, okay, here you go. So then the third time he asked me, I was like, man, forget this, man. I need to get some sleep. I'm trying to sleep. Here's the whole stack. You take the whole stack back. So I ended up giving him the whole stack back. And 3 hours later, he calls me and is like, I didn't give him all his money back. And I'm like, I didn't go anywhere. I was in the back sleep. I gave you the whole stack back. And he wanted to blame me for stealing money from him. So I'm like, damn, what the fuck do I do? I didn't steal any money from him. Why the fuck would I steal money from him? And it just bothered me. Like, what the fuck? And he called me up and he was like, yo, I drove the rental into the woods. because the police was following me. And I'm like, what the Then I had his landlord's son knock on my door, asking me for the $20. For the 20 stack or 20s that I supposedly stole from him or whatever. And I told him, I was like, why didn't he count it when I gave it to him? Why couldn't he count the money when I gave him the money? Because I don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? The money I have is the money I made from my unemployment, you know? And that was just $200. So, long story short, Chuck ended up calling me on another phone, whispering. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on? And he was like, yo, I need my money. I'm like, I don't have your money. There's nothing I can do. And he was like, I need my money. I'm like, damn. Like, what the fuck do I say to this shit? Because this is new. This is not money that I took from him. This ain't money that I have. I don't have any of his money. And long story short, he got mad. He got pissed. And I told him, I was like, look, why ain't you counting the money? Why did you drive all the way out there to Tabor City, Tabor City, looking for somebody and couldn't find them, and drive all the way back with that 20 stack? Like, what happened between those 3 hours? 5:30, I gave you the money because I looked at my time. I looked at my watch, and I gave you the money, the whole stack. I gave you the whole stack. It was like this. It wasn't like this. It was like this. Whole 20 stack. I gave this dude a whole 20 stack, and he want to sit there and tell me that I ain't give it to him. And then he want to tell somebody else I ain't give him nothing back, that I stole the whole thing. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I ended up calling the cab. The cab took me from Charlotte to Wallace for $200. $200 fucking dollars. So then I drove from there back out there trying to go see him to talk to him, but he wanted to act like an asshole over the phone. So I'm like, man, I can't even deal with this guy. So I drove out there to see one of my friends in South Carolina. Then I drove from South Carolina on the other side of North Carolina all the way back to Mebane in the rain. And it was storming outside, and I just got a new alternate on my van, and it was still driving slump. It was like the slumpiest thing I ever drove in my life. It's like, why the fuck did I pay so much fucking money for this shit if I couldn't get it fucking fixed? And it just pissed me off, because, you know, this guy wanted to accuse me of stealing from him, and I never stole a damn dime from him. He told me this money is our money. It's not just my money. It's our money. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't even steal from this guy. And he want to act like that. So I said, fuck it. I left. He dealt with this shit on his fucking own. He went to go out there and smoke crack and fuck whores. And find whores. And drive his rental in the woods. Let him fucking do it. I ain't give a shit. Fuck it. So I ended up driving the van back out here in Mebane, right? And when I was out here in Mebane, I ended up letting somebody hold my van because I felt like they needed it more than I did at the time. And they ended up getting arrested. I don't know why they got arrested, but they ended up getting arrested. And they ended up putting different tags on my van and throwing the title away. And I was like, damn, like, what the fuck did I do to these people? So me and my homegirl, we go out there, whatever. We get my van we found out it's at her brother's house or whatever, and I go out there and get it, and I'm like, yo, ain't nobody gonna buy this, ain't gonna do nothing with it, so I might as well just trash it. So I ended up calling a cab and driving right on back out of the next day. And I'm like, look, I go out there to Saxophone Hall to a little store because they sell stuff out there. And I ended up buying some pizza, buying a bunch of soda and stuff, and I'm just driving with no tags on it because I took those tractor tags off because they took that shit from a tractor. They had to. I had them in my van or whatever. Had to take them bitches off because if I get stopped, they're gonna ask me why the fuck you driving with no tags on, because I couldn't get it inspected. And the 10-day tags I had on it, I let somebody hold my van, and they ended up taking them off and putting some tractor tags on it for some reason. I don't know. So, long story short, I ended up bringing my van back out here and calling up different agencies to tow my van back to their place or whatever. So I ended up figuring out that I could take it out there to the Foss Recycling so I can get it recycled. So I get it recycled or whatever, and he's telling me 187. So I'm like, cool. So, and then I hear these people in the background like, I'll buy it for 300. I throw that bitch backwards. I was like, yo, you gonna buy this bitch for 300? That's cool. So I ended up selling it for 250. He handed me 250. I was like, cool. It's more than 187. I really didn't care at the time. You know what I'm saying? You could have took it for free. I really didn't care. You know what I'm saying? It's just a headache. And that's been my story from Haw River to Mebane. I got some in between stories I can talk about, but you know what I'm saying, it is what it is, and that's all I wanted to say. And those are my adventures. Some of them. I can talk more about my other adventures and write them down and talk to them explicitly, but I just chose not to do it for this particular video. This video is just an update on my life and what I'm doing for the time being. Yeah, this unemployment thing is just really kicking my ass. I'm getting the minimal of what I expected, and I have to survive off of it. I'm only getting $2 grand, 2,100 altogether, and I only got 1,800 left. So I'm gonna try to see if I can save that up. Stop drinking so damn much, doing so much, But other than that, that's the end of the video. That's all I had to say.